How's it going? My name is Stacy and I work at Lowe's. Summer is about to officially kick off, and now's the perfect time to get your garden going. Stop by our nursery today and get 10% off all garden mulch. And when the work is done, fire up the grill with our exclusive charcoal offer. Now buy one bag of Kingsford regular charcoal and get one free. Limit 2 per customer. Start your summer with savings this weekend at Lowe's. Lowe's. Let's build something together. Offers valid 5/25/11 to 5/30/11. Some restrictions apply.
Long Talk Radio.
Okay, you are on live. We are on live now. You're on live now with the Frank the Unicorn radio program. With me is my co-host, Beans.
Howdy.
You got Frank and Beans. Here we go. We're going to talk about quite a lot on this show. This is our first show that we're doing. First things first, our call-in number for our guest today is 347-326-9700. So if you want to talk to the Chariman of the Horn, just dial it up, 347-326-9700. Basically what we're going to do today on the show, first things first, this is our first broadcast, so we're going to discuss the guests that we would like to get on the show, any guests that we may have coming up on the show. That'll be part of our show. We're also going to get into a little bit about maybe where some of these people are and what they're doing currently, which, of course, Beans here is the best person to have available for something like that, because he is literally an encyclopedia of pop culture and is still telling me things, even before the show as we're doing the prep, that I had no damn idea about at all. And this is it's not like I'm unfamiliar with pop culture myself, and it's not like I'm unfamiliar with what's going on in the entertainment industry, but Beans is just so far ahead of me on that, it's not even funny. We're going to talk about this day in history. We're going to discuss some of the historical events that have taken place on this day. There's quite a few things that have of interest that have happened on July 29th throughout history. And we're going to go way, way back in the past, and we're going to get a little bit more recent. We'll talk about those things. We're also going to figure out what women are reading about in Cosmopolitan magazine, and I'm probably going to force Beans here to take at least 1 or 2 quizzes as well. See if maybe he can convince me to do the same. I don't know. What do you think?
I think I'm cool with that.
You think you're cool with taking the quizzes, or you think you're cool with trying to get me to take the quizzes? That's the question.
I think I'm more cool with getting you to take the quizzes.
Okay, well, but I'm gonna.
That's how I roll.
All right. Well, I'm gonna kind of force you to take the quizzes anyway.
I kind of figured you were gonna do that.
All right. So the first thing I do want to mention, over the previous weekend, I did have an opportunity to do something pretty cool and kind of add to my list of things that I've gotten to do that other people haven't necessarily gotten to do, or that not a lot of people have gotten to do. Primarily on that list, the top of that list for me is always riding in the Blockbuster blimp. That was something that was really great for me. It was a great experience, and not a lot of people get to do that, so that was cool.
I didn't even know Blockbuster had a blimp.
Well, I don't think they do now.
Are they run by Max Zorin?
Well, for those of you who don't know, and again, this is why we love Beans. Max Zorin was the Christopher Walken bad guy. He was the bad guy in View to a Kill, one of the not best James Bond movies. I guess that's the nice way to say that.
I like to think of it more as the most worst. The
most worst. I still think, Moonraker's got to take that, but no, you're shaking your head.
You got a blonde Christopher Walken, and you got your Grace Jones.
And you have a very, 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 very old James Bond. Roger Moore was pretty ancient in 1985, although
I don't think 83 is too old to be James Bond.
Well, okay.
0070 is not really a problem.
Not for you. Although, interesting bit of trivia about View to a Kill, the only James Bond theme song to ever go to #1, of course, by Duran Duran.
Of course.
Simon Le Bon, how can you miss? So, all right. Anyway, back to what I was saying earlier about having to do cool things or getting to do cool things. Everyone, I'm sure, has seen the Truly Nolan car, the car that drives around, looks like a mouse, yellow car. It's got ears, a tail, that sort of thing. Everyone's probably seen that. I know a lot of people who have wanted to ride in those and drive those cars, and frankly, they don't allow anyone to do that. It's kind of a privilege to get to operate one of those vehicles, and you certainly have to work for the company to do it. But thankfully, this weekend for me, Tilson PR actually arranged a tweet-up where we did a mouse car parade, a Truly Nolan mouse car parade, and we were able to actually ride around in the mouse cars. And I'm not sure if my driver is listening. His name was Lee, and he was absolutely fantastic. I had a great time with Lee, who, frankly, I didn't say this to him, but reminded me so much of John Locke that it was actually a little frightening. I was afraid he was going to pull out a knife at any time and just kill a wild boar as we drove down the road. It was something else. But anyway, so just want to throw that out there. Thank you to Truly Nolan. If you have any sort of pest problems or issues, need any help or advice there, visit trulynolan.com. They will be able to help you. All right. So, again, let me give that dial-out number. That call-in number is 347-326-9700. And the first question I'm going to go ahead and ask the Beans here, the first official question, who do you want to get on the show? Let's just start that segment.
Oh, God. Who do I want to get on the show? Well, let's start with me, because I'm already here.
Okay.
And that makes things a lot easier. Other than that, I don't know. Probably, I have to go with Mr. Steven Seagal.
I would
someone I would love to speak with.
I would agree. That is one of the reasons that we used some Steven Seagal music. Actually, that was Steven Seagal on the lead guitar playing our intro music, and that is a song called "Love Doctor." It's actually pretty darn good. It's from the Mojo Priest album,
which is also the doctorate that Steven Seagal holds. He is an official Love Doctor. But the reason I'd like to speak with him is because I just want to know what sort of accent he would bring to the table when he came here.
It could be his lawman accent, perhaps.
It could be the lawman accent. It could be something out of maybe The Patriot.
Okay.
All I know is I just want a white man to sit here and call me white boy. That's what I really enjoy.
I could do that, but it wouldn't be the same as if it were Steven Seagal. I would like to talk to Seagal because I want to ask what I'd like to ask him and what I'd like to know from him. I mean, there's a lot, obviously, I'd like to know from him. You know, how many arms has he broken, for example? Does he keep count of that? Does he even know? But, you know, I'm curious what would happen, and I want to ask him, if he were to join UFC or do some kind of MMA or something, like, would he actually stand a chance? Would the other guys actually stand a chance? Or would he just go in there and they'd try to hit him and he would just break them in half and throw them around? I don't know.
I think he would sprinkle some herbs on them and they just die right there. He's got that mystical potion thing going on.
I will say this. I do think that he would be the best dressed person that we've ever seen in the UFC because he would be the only one that would actually fight in a muumuu.
That's true, and he would have Mojo Priest embroidered on the back of it.
Yeah, probably not a wise thing to do to attempt to, you know, piss off Steven Seagal. So just so you know, Steven, we love you. We don't want you to hurt us in any way. We actually are really big fans.
Well, I mean,
he should know that.
Hurt him, just don't hurt me.
Well, he should know that because you referenced The Patriot.
That's true.
And
not only was I able to reference The Patriot, when it premiered on HBO, I actually stayed home to watch it. I waited for the premiere of The Patriot on Basic.
That is being a fan.
I'm sorry, I'm premium kid. That's a fan.
You know, you want to sit in the catbird seat,
but I don't want to pay the piper.
Exactly. Once again, that call-in number 347-326-9700. We're having a good time here. We hope you are too. We hope you're listening and enjoying the program. You know what? Give us a call. Let us know who you want us to talk to. Who do you want to hear from? I have another one I want to talk to. I have someone else I want to talk to.
Who's that?
I want to talk to David Lander.
Squiggy?
That is correct. David Lander.
He's more than just Squiggy. That's not fair. Sorry, Dave.
That's exactly why I want to speak to David Lander because, David Lander is an amazing person. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. And he's done some amazing things in his life that not a lot of people get to do. But things, frankly, that are a lot better than riding around in a blockbuster blimp or a mouse car, which are very cool things. But he's sort of lived he's kind of had three careers or three separate instances where his job has been something that any young boy would want to do. He had a sitcom. He was an actor on a sitcom. For one, when he played Squiggy.
He also headlined the strangest sitcom in TV history with On the Air.
Okay. We actually have a call in. Let's go ahead and bring this caller on.
Hello.
Caller.
Young boy. Hello.
Hello, caller. You're on with Frank the Unicorn. You got Frank and Beans. What's up?
Frank and Beans. That's pretty cool.
Frank and Beans. I just got that.
You just got that? The co-host just got that.
I had no idea that was a thing.
That was a thing.
All right.
There's a reason.
So, okay, we're live, huh?
What's that?
We're live, huh?
Yes, we are. Yes, sir. I know who this is.
Yes, you know who this is.
Sure do. It's Hank Hill, ladies and gentlemen, the father of Frank the Unicorn, calling in as the first caller on the program.
Hey.
How you doing?
This was real good, son. I think this is a real good program. Who are you? Are you going to talk to Steven Seagal?
I would love to talk to Steven Seagal.
Well, how about Bill? Would you like to talk to Bill Dotree?
I would love to talk to Bill Dotree. Actually, I'd love to get Stephen Root on the program.
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, I would just love for him to sit here and be the character that he played in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Because to me, I love that character. I think he's absolutely hilarious. And it's kind of fun watching basically Mr. Strickland from King of the Hill, as a 1930s Dust Bowl, Mississippi, radio disc jockey who, oh, yeah, motherfucker!
I know all those people. Hello?
Well, this is why you have to listen to our program, because we're going to clue you in as to who these people are. Stephen Root is all... Go ahead.
Will I be hip if I listen to your program? Because I sure don't know what the hell you were talking about.
It's okay, neither do we.
Yeah, we have no clue. We're literally flying by the seat of our pants right now.
I don't want to clog up the airways, so I'm going to hang up and let you.
All right, then. Well, I thank you for calling, and I love you, Dad. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bro. I love you too. Hey, good luck there, Beans.
All right.
All right, see ya. Goodbye, guys.
All right, Dad.
I never knew you had a dad. I always just sort of assumed you were created in a lab.
No, I have a father, and my dad is basically Hank Hill. Yep. He says, well, he doesn't necessarily sound exactly the same, but he's proudly from Texas, and he says all of the same types of things like, boy, I tell you what, you ought to buy American, even if it doesn't work as good.
Which, for the record, it doesn't.
I drive an American car.
Like I said, it doesn't.
I did spend $2,000 to fix that American car.
I was just going to say, I've been in your car. And,
okay,
yeah.
Sir. That's okay.
All right. Winning my argument.
I am making your argument for you and winning it, but let's kind of steer it back to our original topic of who we want to get on the show. I want to get back to David Lander because he started out. He had the sitcom. He was obviously played Squiggy, Andrew Squiggy Squigman on Laverne and Shirley, and he was hilarious. Lenny and Squiggy for me were the best part of the show. I mean,
I think not just for you. I'm still sort of surprised that did they ever get a spinoff?
Not that I'm aware of.
I didn't think so, and
No.
that surprises me.
No, it surprises me too, and from that, well, one of the things that they did do together on that show leads us to our second sort of career, if you want, that David Lander had that I find fascinating that anyone would want, which was he was a rock star. Lenny and the Squigtones, they put out a couple albums. It was Michael McKean and David Lander, and their guitarist in that band was none other than Christopher Guest, who is actually Nigel Tufnell, I should say, the lead guitarist from Spinal Tap. And that was prior to Spinal Tap. So in some way, David Lander may have even been responsible for launching one of the greatest of all-time rock bands, Spinal Tap.
What do you mean one of?
Well, okay, we'll get into the whole discussion about greatest ever rock bands, but
the near legendary Spinal Tap.
They're not near well, okay. I don't know anyone else that does Stonehenge quite the way they do, and that's the thing. So yeah, David Lander, in addition to these two other careers, after his forays into every aspect of entertainment, being an actor, producer, composer, musician, rock star, all those things, then became a baseball scout.
A baseball scout?
Baseball scout. Professional Major League Baseball scout, actually. He still does a ton of voiceover work. He's very popular as a voiceover actor, and he's been a baseball talent scout since 1997. He first worked for the Angels, and now he currently works for the Seattle Mariners. So, I mean, to me, that's just... And the other part of this for David Lander is that he is actually the Goodwill Ambassador for the multiple sclerosis, which he does suffer from, which makes all of his accomplishments, to me, even more amazing, the fact that he's got, MS, and he's able to do all these things that he does. So, a big fan of David Lander, and I don't know if this is ever going to get out to him or he's ever going to hear this, but if he does, you've got a couple of real big fans down here who think you've led an amazing life and would really, really love to talk to you about it. So, just wanted to mention that. And actually, you know what? If we got Seagal and Lander on at the same time,
They could have a hair off.
they could have. Well,
I'd
they
be curious to see who has the better head of hair at this point.
okay. That would be fair. I mean,
they're both famous for their hair.
true, in very, very different ways. David Lander. I still remember Squiggy having these sort of Eddie Munster sort of pointed,
That's right.
Oh, that's great. And Seagal with obviously the ponytail. But
not just the ponytail, because now he's got the hairline that's moved on to somewhere below his eyebrows, which is impressive.
It shifts.
It's hard to do that.
It's like Brendan Fraser.
He focuses his chi onto his head
and forces it down. He forces
right.
his hair. I think that
martial art.
It's incredible. I think he could probably use his chi to accomplish almost anything.
Yes.
I think so. But, okay, Brendan Fraser, same thing, movable hairline. Although, hey, another guy we'd love to have on the show. Sorry for making fun of your baldness, but whatever.
As the only person who actually really, really liked Looney Tunes back in action, I refuse to say anything bad about Mr. Brendan Fraser.
I'm not going to say anything bad about Brendan Fraser. I like him. I think he's fantastic.
I also refuse to see Furry Vengeance, but I guess that's not just me.
Yeah, again, I've been pretty much avoiding most of his movies since Bedazzled, but I do I do like some Brendan Fraser, and I really only saw that for Elizabeth Hurley, but that's okay because she was really, really good in that movie.
What happened to Elizabeth Hurley?
She
kind of went away, didn't she?
She just, what?
Come back, Liz.
Please, come here.
May I call you Liz? I may.
You know what? There you go. How about we get Elizabeth Hurley on the show and ask her what the hell happened to her?
Where have you been, Liz?
We could say now that, I think it's fair to say, Elizabeth Hurley is our first official Gutenberg of the Week. We have a long-running joke between Beans and I where we randomly wonder what the hell ever happened to this very famous, or formerly very famous, celebrity. And, we call that the Gutenberg of the Week because Steve Gutenberg, just kind of stopped doing anything. It was just odd. He just kind of disappeared on us after being a huge and famous movie star in the 80s. He's made some great films. He was in Cocoon, Three Men and a Baby, the Police Academy movies.
Well,
and
some of the Police Academy.
The good ones.
Do yourselves a favor. Do not watch the non-Gutenberg ones.
No. What's the point? I mean, but, he just, I don't know. We always made the joke. It was like Steve Gutenberg went out walking one day and just said, hey, look, there's the end of the earth. Ah! Elizabeth Hurley could be the official Gutenberg of the Week. What the hell ever happened to Elizabeth Hurley?
I have no idea what the hell ever happened to Elizabeth Hurley.
I am going to wager that she's still really hot.
Okay, that's a good wager. I can go for that. Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to her.
It's a good question.
It is.
So now we've got 3 potential guests that we want to land for our show. The first 3 guests we've identified are, for some reason and somehow, Steven Seagal, David Lander, and Elizabeth Hurley. You know what? You try connecting those 3 people in any other fashion, in any other way. That's how random this show is.
Yeah, but they could tour the country like the Country Bears. I mean, they could be a band, a jug band.
We don't have enough jug bands. I personally love jug band music. I think the last real, I'm sure that there's plenty of real jug band music being made and out there. I just am not exposed to it, but
Emmett Otter was the last I heard from.
That's what I was going to say, Emmett Otter. And if you don't love Emmett Otter, I don't know what is wrong with you.
If you don't love Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, I'm sorry, we can't help you.
And you've got
tuned into the wrong show.
And you've got 2 Jewish hosts right now telling you that you should watch a Muppet Christmas program.
Hey, that's Jews who love Christmas.
That's true. I do love some Christmas.
That's right.
And I do love Emmett Otter. And I would, if Emmett Otter were real, I would love to have him and his mom on the show as well. Ask him about that little mashup they did with those songs. And I want to find out how Emmett felt knowing that someone was stealing his song when that other band came in, the River Bottom Nightmare band came in and did Barbecue, which, by the way, great song.
That was music pirating before pirates were big.
That's true.
After real pirates were big, but before music pirates.
But you know what? When you have a Cobra, you can get away with that. All right, we got another caller coming in, and I think I know who this is too, and this should be very entertaining. Let's see.
As we go dead silent.
No, caller, you're on.
Hello, caller.
Caller, you're on. Frank the Unicorn. What's up? All right, then.
You're right. That is very entertaining.
It is. It's so entertaining. Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You're live on the air, bro. You're on the radio. What's up?
What's going on? Well, you know what? It put me into a different queue. It put me into listening mode, and apparently it told you that I wanted to talk to you, which Perlman scares me. So sometimes I don't want to talk.
All right, well, look, if you don't want to be on the air, I'll be more than happy to hang up with you. The call-in number is only used to be on the air. Otherwise, you can listen to us at blogtalkradio.com/Frank the Unicorn, and then you just click on the link there, and you can listen live. How about that?
You know what? You can do it on the phone, and you can listen to the phone. It gives you that option. It's kind of neat.
All right, well, cool. Then, yeah, hey, look, if you got, you're out there, you want to listen on your phone, 347-326-9700. Frank the Unicorn, what's up?
Anyway, so
let me.
I think you might have overshot the entertainment value of this call.
I know, I really did. I really did. But I know who this is, and I know how damn entertaining this guy is.
Well, what are you guys up?
Come on, Crazy. Well, Crazy Dave, we're talking. Let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, Crazy Dave Nealon on the phone with us right now. Crazy Dave. So, Crazy Dave, let me ask you a question, buddy.
Sure.
Who do you want us to get on the program? Who do you want us to talk to on the program for you? Who do you want to get?
I want to hear Frank the Unicorn. He must be around somewhere, right?
Yeah, you're talking to him, dude.
Oh, wait a minute.
Let me rephrase that. What celebrity would you like to talk to on our program? Or would you like to hear us talk to?
Wait a minute, we're not celebrities?
No, we are not celebrities.
Shit.
Sorry.
Not even close. Well, you know what? You guys did talk to Weird Al, right? You saw him the other day, right?
Right. That's true, actually. That's a good one. Yeah, we did see Weird Al, and thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, we did. We went and saw Weird Al. We did go and see Weird Al. We saw him at Meisner Park Amphitheater over the weekend, and he was, as Weird Al always is, fantastic and hilarious.
I think be a lot of fun talking.
I think Weird Al has got to go right to the top of the list. I'm going to put Weird Al over Seagal, especially since the first person we've come up with that we haven't decided to make fun of. Yeah, you know what? I really can't, and I can't really think of any way to make fun of Weird Al, which, I mean, okay, yeah, I'm sure there's easy ways to do it and you can take shots at the guy, but I personally just don't want to.
And why would it? He's just funny and fun.
He's hilarious, he's great, his music is great, he plays polka music and makes it cool, which is something that no one can do, and the reality of Weird Al is that he's the most consistent musical act in the last 30 years, and he has made fun of more people who, frankly, have just disappeared off the face of the earth, and he can't even do the songs anymore because those people aren't even famous. He's outlasted everybody. Weird Al, we went over this at the concert the other night, and Weird Al has had songs out in 5 decades. Think about that. He's been making music. He's made music for 5 different decades. 5 decades. That's crazy. Dave, what do you think about that?
You know, I saw him when I was in high school. He almost killed himself on an accordion, which was was scary and entertaining at the same time. So
how did he almost kill himself on an accordion?
He tripped over a ramp. Was running around just being Weird Al, and he became Flat Al. So that was, everybody laughed, and he said, no, I'm really hurt. And, yeah, so. But, yeah, it was a while ago. It was during Smells Like Nirvana tour.
Oh, wow.
Cool, yeah, that is a while ago. He actually, you know, he played Smells Like Nirvana, and he did the whole thing with the dress, and he always does. He always does all the costume changes, and I don't know how the hell he gets in that fat suit. And the thing that's impressive, it's not even just the suit that's impressive, it's the face. How does he put on the fat?
You know, unless it's just like a blow-up suit, I'm not sure. You know, it's the magic of the entertainment. So magic.
Let me do this. Because I know we're kind of. I'm going to interrupt the segment for a second because the person that's Crazy Dave that's on the phone, when he was in high school, fell 100 feet off of a cliff and landed in 2 feet of water on his back and stood up. And yes, it's on videotape. And Dave, you've got to get that so we can post it on YouTube and people can see it, because it's absolutely incredible and amazing. Tell us, what the hell does it feel like to fall 100 feet off of a cliff? What's going through your mind as you fall off a cliff? What were you? Do you even remember what was going through your mind at all, if anything?
Yeah, actually, what was going through my mind was, wow, this is really gonna hurt. And then the next thing you know, it's like, wow, that ground is really coming up on me, and then I stopped suddenly. It's the magic of gravity. It's awesome. So
what you're saying is you weren't wondering right at that moment what the hell happened to Steve Gutenberg.
No,
That's called a callback.
before.
Nice.
Pushed off. So.
That was before. That was before you were wondering about Gutenberg while you were actually rappelling before the harness broke and you fell.
Top, yeah, exactly. I mean, who doesn't? You know, it's like either that or Mancini, but I'm not sure. But yeah, no, it's been pretty good. You know what? Another person you should get, like Demento, Dr. Demento. He's doing radio, pure radio now on the internet. He's just doing internet.
Dr. Demento, not a bad one.
Yeah.
Actually, wow. You know, I think maybe I'm gonna fire my producer, which is me. Fire myself and hire Crazy Dave here. He's got some darn good ideas. I'm gonna have to consult with you after this, Dave, so that we can talk about some other things, because you got some good ideas for some guests to bring on. I was just gonna rip on some people, but hey, he's actually got some good stuff.
Agreed.
You know.
Oh, you want people to rip on? I mean, criminy.
Well, all right. Hold on. I don't want to get you too started there. Hold on. No, I mean, I don't mean to rip on in that way. I mean, just, you know, have a little fun with it. You know, like we were with Seagal, which frankly is dangerous, but you know, that's cool. You know, Seagal would learn. You mess with the corn, you get the horn. All right, yeah.
Yes, but the thing is that you can
and that'll probably be edited out of the podcast. Hopefully, no one heard that, but that's okay. What's that, Dave?
I said you could probably outrun Seagal, so it's all right. If you get within arm range, then you're having problems.
But you know, the problem is this though, is and Beans has proof. I know you remember this. He was actually coming after me for something. I don't remember what. I start to run away from him. Did you need a reason? Probably not. I'm sure you had one. I know I probably gave you one. It's what I do. But he starts coming out. I'm running like hell away from him.
And to set the stage, I do have a Seagalian build.
A little bit. And although not, you don't wear muumuus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Anyway, you can still go to the beach. Seagal can't. So, you know, the harpooning. So.
Either. So.
Anyway, long story short, Josh starts chasing me around, and I'm running away, and he just starts walking very slowly at me, very deliberately and slowly at me, and damned if he didn't catch me everywhere I went. And I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And his response was, "I learned this from watching all the horror movies. It always works for Jason." So as long as Seagal can walk in a fairly meaningful and straightforward way in our general direction, I think he actually would be able to catch us using the Jason principle.
Probably true.
Which is the slower and more deliberately you walk towards someone, you know, you just have to have a lot of malice towards them. And as long as you have a lot of malice towards them, you will be able to reach them and potentially harm them.
It's like the time when you tried to get me with the cattle prod.
Yeah, I did almost, in fact, shock you with the cattle prod, but I do remember very specifically, you looked at me and said, if you touch me or come near me with that cattle prod, eventually I will get up and I'm going to stick it up your ass and kill you. And so I did not, because, right, not enough, but who knows what he's into, I don't know.
Because it's still the same principle. Eventually I will get you.
Yeah, eventually you will corner your prey, because you have the right intent, you have the malice that's necessary for achieving your goal, which would be obviously to cause me bodily harm, which is something that you've been really, really quite good at throughout your life. Whether it's hitting me while my back is turned with a folding chair, that was a pretty good one.
No, and it didn't show up on the video like I thought it would, and I was disappointed with that. I wanted to retake it, but you were not keen on that. But
no, I'm not. I was also barely conscious, and it was a time-lapse video, so you have to stagger that if you want it to look smooth. You have to just kind of do the movements in segments to make it look right. Which, for some reason, I'm doing this right now in the studio. No one's going to see it. True. So what difference does it make? It makes none. But whatever, that's fine. All right, so real quick, I'm going to right now, and I'm just going to mention a couple of very important charities that I want to talk about real quick as a quick segment break from the Who Can segment and our call with Crazy Dave Nealon. So just hold on one sec there, Dave. I'm going to put you on mute. Just one moment, all right?
All right.
Stay with us. As long as you want to. You don't have to stay on the phone, but if you want to, just hang out for a sec, and we're going to take a quick mention of some very important things we want people to consider, all right?
Sounds like a plan.
Excellent. All right, I'm being told there's no sound, so I don't know if we're even still broadcasting.
That's a problem for radio, last I checked.
All right, so as we said, we just want to take a quick break from the segment. This is normally the portion of the show where we would be discussing sponsors, and we would be talking about our sponsors and talking possibly with our sponsors. Obviously, it's our first broadcast, so we don't actually have any official sponsors, so rather than make up a bunch of fake crap or do some stupid fake commercials, which every other show does, every other person does, we thought it better to just mention a couple of important things that things are close to our heart. One of those is the Christopher Reeve Foundation.
The Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation.
Excuse me, the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation. And that web address, ChristopherReeve.org. Obviously, you all know who Christopher Reeve is. You know what happened to Christopher Reeve. It's a great charity, and it's something that people should get involved with if they can. He was a pretty amazing guy, so let's not let his legacy die out. Let's keep him alive and keep his memory alive by honoring him and his wife Dana and honoring their foundation, ChristopherReeve.org on that one. The other one we want to mention is more of a local charity, but it's one that I've done some work with in the past, previously, fairly recently. It's the Jessica June Children's Cancer Foundation, and that website, jjccf.org. And again, please do everything you can. We've got to do everything we can to try to help the people that need our help, and certainly kids with cancer and people who have been immobilized and paralyzed need our help, probably more than most. So let's see if we can do some good out there, and hopefully we can. So enough of that. We're going to actually go back to the show. We're going to get back into the show a little bit here, and let's see if we get Dave. Let's get Crazy Dave back on for a second here, and then we're gonna finish up our Who to Get segment, and we'll transition off into our next segment. Crazy Dave.
You're going to like it at my house, Jenna Jameson.
Okay, and so that's going to be the last week here. I don't know what's going on up there. I don't know what's happening. I hope Jenna Jameson.
Oh, sorry. Are you there?
We can get her for the show.
If you're out there listening, please check on Jenna.
Yeah. Although, I don't know. We could get her for the show. I don't think that I want to bring...
If you live near Jenna Jameson, just knock on her door, make sure she's okay.
Make sure there's not a giant, opaque, redheaded guy stalking her in any way. Although, you wouldn't be stalking her, would you? Would you, Crazy? You wouldn't be doing that, right, Crazy Dave? You're good, right?
Stalking her, per se. I mean, standing in her bushes, looking through her windows. What is the definition of stalking?
I'm going to say, you know what? I think that is the definition of stalking. So, all right. We're going to finish up our segment. I want to thank our first call-in guest, second call-in guest, although our first official call-in guest, if you want to say guest and do your little finger air quotes. Yeah, we can do the air quotes. Ladies and gentlemen, Crazy Dave, the guy who fell 100 feet off a cliff and survived.
And tried to throw some crazy kid through the window of Blockbuster.
Right. Well, there's a lot. Trust me, we're going to get into a lot of discussion about some of the crazy things you've done and how you acquired the game. Whether it's through windows, over fences, downstairs, whatever it is. There's a reason that we call you what we call you, and we love you. And thank you very much for calling the show, and we hope you're doing well out there in the heartland.
Yeah, at least there's no tornadoes. So.
Well, I guess that's a good thing. No tornadoes is good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Crazy Dave.
Catch you later.
Bye, Dave.
Have the best day you legally can, sir.
Well, knowing him, he'll have the best day illegally that he can.
Well, that's why I suggested it.
I think it's probably for the best. All right, so there's an unexpected little curveball that we got thrown at us at the show here. Our first live call-in guest, who was actually a guest, a call-in guest. There was some rumor of a certain celebrity who may call into the show today. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to scare them off. But I will say that we are all big fans, and we would love name specifically, and you asked about this program on Twitter, and that's why I'm mentioning your name. Not mentioning your name, but mentioning that you were possibly going to call in, which I'm just going to say that if you did, it would be great. We'd love to put you at the top of the Who to Get list. I think I'd even put you above Weird Al, simply because you've shown some interest, which is, I'm just being honest. I'm being blunt with you.
That goes a long way with us.
Yeah, I have to be frank about it, okay? So, there you go. Oh, boy. We don't have a drum... Well, we have a drum machine in here.
Jokes like that are not going to get any celebrities to call in.
That's true.
Possibly Meatloaf, but he's the only one.
Well, he'll call in, he'll speak for 2 minutes, and then he'll blow out his voice, and he'll have to hang up. So,
True.
Yeah, that's what happens when you see him in concert. Sorry, Meatloaf, it's true, but okay. All right, so moving on to our next segment. One of the things that I think we're all fascinated with and should be fascinated with is history. So we're going to talk about our day in history. A lot of meaningful events actually have happened on July 29th. And the first of those things, in 1958, for all the dorks, geeks, and nerds out there, which is what we are too, NASA was created on this day in 1958 as a response to the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik. That occurred October 4th, 1957, and we only waited until almost an entire year later to start NASA.
But the only thing I can really add to that is that we are yet, in our entire space program, to create anything with as cool a name as Sputnik.
That's true. That is very true. And I will say this. Maybe this is a little wrong. I think cosmonaut sounds cooler than astronaut.
Cosmonaut does sound cooler.
And it doesn't sound as gay.
Well,
not that that matters or that's bad, but astronaut is a little, cosmonaut sounds, yeah, that's cool, like, I'm getting a look. I am just getting a look.
All I can give is a look, because I don't know if I can agree with your hypothesis there. But I do think Sputnik might be the greatest word in the non-English language.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree. You apparently love the name Sputnik. So.
I think it should become more multifaceted. I think we should use Sputnik for more things.
Would you name your child Sputnik if you had a child, when you have a child? Would
Absolutely.
You? Yeah? I'm going to hold you to that. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hold him to that too. So if you're actually listening, Beans here just said that he would name his firstborn Sputnik. Now, is that a boy's name or a girl's name?
Does it matter?
I don't think it does.
I think little Sputnik will be happy, whatever gender he, she, or even transgender. I'd be okay with that.
Would you call him Nick? Would you call him Sputty? Or just Sput? Sput?
Just Sput.
Just Sput. That really sounds nasty, man. That sounds really, really gross.
It sounds like a Don Martin sound effect.
Oh, it does. It is. It is a Don Martin sound effect. I guarantee you that if we were to go get some old Mad magazines and we were to just flip through, we would find we would find probably 2 Sputs in that magazine.
I agree with that.
Any Mad magazine, if you're a listener and you've got a Mad magazine collection, or you have the Mad magazine DVDs that they put out that have all the issues on there, do us a favor, go through there, find a Don Martin cartoon in there that has a sound effect of Sput in it, and let us know, because we're very interested to find that. We know it exists. We just want to hear it. 347-326-9700. We got another caller coming in. Hello, caller. You've got Frank the Unicorn.
Oh, do I have to talk now?
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, well, I got a secret name.
Okay, give us your secret name.
I'm vaguely related to Crazy Dave, though.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously I know who it's calling in, but give us your fake name then. Your stage name, if you will.
Oh, my nom de guerre. My nom de plume. Mein Name ist me.
Okay, you're now named Sputnik.
Sputnik. No, I like Telstar better than Sputnik.
What is it?
Telstar.
Feldstar.
Telstar.
All right.
He's
All right.
going with other satellites.
He's going with other satellites. All right. So we know we have another big geek on the show. All right. So tell us, Felstar, what? Go on. What's your take on the launch of NASA? Give us your perspective.
About NASA?
Yeah. Today in history, NASA was created. Again,
Oh.
only almost a year after the Soviets launched Sputnik, we decided to respond a mere 9 or 10 months later with our own program, not with a satellite at the time, just the program.
Well, that's usually how we respond. Somebody spins up a program. But you got to watch it. You know, if you get into politics, that ain't going to work for us.
Well, we're not talking politics. We're talking NASA. I mean, NASA's a pretty politically
NASA
neutral.
is politics. It's a
No.
bureaucrat.
Look, NASA being cool, and the fact that we created NASA 9 months late, you know, I don't think that's politics. I just think that's interesting.
Are there any cosmonauts listening to the show right now?
Probably.
I don't know. There could be. There could be cosmonauts. There very well could be cosmonauts listening to our show.
We could end up in a Siberian prison.
I'm not worried about ending up in a Siberian prison.
I'm a little bit worried about Siberian prison.
I'm not worried about a Siberian prison.
You know, Mexican prison you should worry about, but Siberia, not so much anymore.
Here's the thing. I just don't see myself ending up in any prison, especially Mexican prison. You know, look, if I can go, listen, here's the deal. If I can go to Mardi Gras with Crazy Dave for an entire week and not end up in prison, I'm pretty sure I'm good.
I'm just saying,
you know, I'm pretty sure I'm okay. I can avoid the incarceration.
I'm just saying you don't mess with the
Well,
cops.
if it wasn't the incarceration you had to worry about, it's about getting beat up over a pool table.
Right. Well, that did happen actually. That was thank God he didn't hit me with the pool cue. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the story, which is all of you, all right. Well, this is where this is going, which is way off the rails, but that's fine. The whole show is going that way, and it's okay. But basically, my trip to Mardi Gras. Okay, last night we were there. You know, we met these guys who were sharing. They were in the hotel room next to ours, and we made the mistake of staying on the west bank. Okay, of Lake Pontchartrain, which is like not the area you want to stay in New Orleans. It's very rough. A lot of crime, you know, really, really kind of a bad part of town, right? So, you know, we didn't know this, but anyway, so we're staying at this Days Inn, the top of the Days Inn, the tower, right? And we meet these guys from Kansas in the hotel room next to us, and, you know, we all go out and we're doing the Mardi Gras thing, and we're partying and drinking it up and looking at boobs and throwing beads and having a great time. And we come back and we decide to play pool. We decided to play a game of pool. This guy, Kansas, I don't remember his name, we'll call him Kansas. He decided he wanted to play some pool, so we play pool. Now, the thing is, I am the worst pool player that's ever picked up a billiard cue. I cannot play. I am awful, okay? And I readily admit that. If it goes in, it's not because I planned it. It's because I got lucky, you know?
It's because perhaps there's an earthquake.
Right. Maybe there's an earthquake. Someone bumps into the table. Right. You know,
Jodie Foster's on a pinball machine nearby. Yes, that's when you play.
Oh, my. We're going to have to edit that out of the podcast, see?
I don't think we do.
No, I don't know, maybe. But all right, so...
No accused jokes?
No, I don't think we're ready for the accused jokes. Yeah, that's But anyway, so we play these guys and we beat them, and they say that they won, and we say, you know, I say I don't care, I'm just getting out of here, and so you know I go to leave, and Kansas is big huge farm guy, and he starts talking it up, saying, oh no, you know, and I have no idea why. It doesn't mean anything in the context or history of the world that this one particular game of pool in the middle of the night in the top of a Days Inn in New Orleans. Who gives a shit? You know, we've been looking at tits all night. We're drunk. You know, who cares, right? But he won't let it go, and so you know this guy took offense and he cracked him in the head with a pool cue.
And there go all our female listeners.
Well, whatever. We didn't have any female. You know what? You're right. There go our female listeners because they weren't offended by the joke that you made about the accused. That wasn't that. I said tits, and that's what's going to drive them away.
That's what's going to do it.
That we enjoyed looking at breasts.
You got to watch the language.
Yes. Well, no, we don't, because we don't have to worry about the FCC. We're on the internet, so
I'm aware of that, but still.
We can curse, but we've done a good job of not cursing. So, all right, let's do this then. If NASA, the creation of NASA, is not a big hit with you, there's some other very interesting things that happened today in history. For example, I realize this call is coming in from Arizona. You're in Arizona, correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. Telstar's with us from Arizona, and you have a senator in Arizona just ran for president. One of our heroes, Senator John McCain. Okay, and on this day in 1967 was the USS Forrestal disaster. And for those of you who don't know, during the Vietnam War, the Forrestal was stationed off the coast of North Vietnam, and it was assisting in combat operations. And on July 29th, the ship was preparing to attack, and there was a malfunction, electrical malfunction, and a rocket from an F-4 Phantom jet was launched on the deck of the carrier, and that rocket went across the deck, and it hit a parked A-4 Skyhawk jet, which was actually waiting to take off. It knocked loose the tank. Now, there's a fail-safe mechanism on the missile, so it didn't explode on impact, but it knocked a fuel tank off that A-4, that Skyhawk, and it caused a massive fire, which, of course, when you have munitions, causes explosions, etc. The gentleman that was in the plane, the pilot in the plane in the A-4 that got hit with the missile, that was waiting to take off, was none other than John McCain. And in response to this, you know, I would have just probably crapped my pants and probably died of a heart attack, which is not at all what he did. He actually took some pretty heroic action. And a few months later was actually back in action, flying, and of course we know what happened to him at that point. So luckily he escaped on the Forrestal disaster, I mean, you got to talk about this guy being lucky in addition to heroic, right? Because look, it's one thing, you know, a lot of, not to minimize it, he got shot down, and that's pretty amazing that he got shot down and survived as long as he did, and that's really a testament to him. But even more so is even the fact that he was even still there after what had happened to him on the deck of the Forrestal. Because I don't think most people would have gone back and said, yeah, I'm gonna go back and do that again. You know, that's pretty incredible. And he's out your way out there, Telstar. I'm sure you're proud of McCain, right?
For his war actions, yes, I am.
Okay, good. See, we're not getting political with it. We're just keeping it the way it is.
And let's not forget that even more heroically, he went on to host Saturday Night Live.
He did, in fact, go on to host Saturday Night Live, and that's really what the context of this show should be, is discussing, you know what, you know who else I'd love to get on the show, just as a little throw-in? Tim Meadows. I would love to have him on and just have him sit here as Leon Phelps the whole time.
That should be feasible, because I don't think he's doing anything right now.
Well, Tim Meadows, if you're out there, call us. We can discuss how the Spanish Armada was defeated this day in 1588. Another item from your day in history. Now, I don't think we have any callers old enough to remember or listeners old enough to remember the Spanish Armada being defeated.
No, we do. Your dad called in.
Right. My dad is over 422 years old.
But he doesn't look a day over 410.
That's true. He doesn't. Some other news. This is apparently a very popular day for weddings, although it shouldn't be. Princess Diana was married to Prince Charles on this day in 1981. 1 billion people watched that on television. That's insane.
Yeah, I remember.
That happened 29 years ago. And right now on the planet, there are about 6 billion people, right? So fully
one-sixth
of the planet today would be equivalent of 1/6 of our current population, which at the time, I'm sure, I don't know what the population was of the world in 1981, but you can darn well bet it wasn't 6 billion, and yet 1 billion people watched this wedding on television. Wow.
That is insane.
How can you get divorced when 1 billion people watch you get married?
Pretty easily, it turns out.
I guess so.
Well, methily, but it can still happen.
Yes. And okay, so following their lead, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt got married on this day in 2000.
You know those kids are going to work it out? Those kids have a future. I can see that. Wait, they what?
Yeah, I don't want to even get into that one. All right, and one that is actually a little more interesting to me personally, and probably to Beans here, and I'm sure to Telstar too. The Doors first hit #1 with "Light My Fire." This was on this day in 1968. They had their first #1 hit, "Light My Fire."
Yeah.
And then they did and that was the highlight for Jim Morrison.
Which, a little bit of trivia, if you start playing that song today, right now, if you hit play right at this moment,
the song
will end approximately 43 years from now. That song just never ends.
No?
It's a good song, but it just won't go away.
I don't know if you're aware of
It's
this,
a 19-minute song.
On most devices in which you would listen to music, there's a pause or a stop button. You could use that.
You could, but I'm just saying, if you want to hear the entire song, you might want to take some time off of work.
Okay. You know, like, for example, the same way that if you wanted to see The Patriot, the premiere of The Patriot on premium cable, you could take some time off work.
Which I don't remember what day in history that was, but I'll have to look it up.
I don't either. And then the last bit of history we're going to mention today was that on this day in 1976, the son of Sam. Excuse me. Don't mess up the serial killer's name. They don't like that.
His dog will get you.
Yes, his dog. Well, it was the neighbor's dog.
True.
It was the neighbor's dog. Who was relaying messages from the neighbor. The neighbor was the crazy killer one who was in league with Satan, relaying the messages to the dog, who was then relaying them to Berkowitz, who, by the way, shot the dog before he ever became a serial killer.
Well, that's not cool.
And the dog didn't die. So he shot the dog lived, and then that's when he went nuts and whatever. Anyway, 1976, at this time, David Berkowitz was scaring the shit out of New York. He was doing the Son of Sam thing, and I will just say personally, thank God that I didn't live in New York at the time, and if I did, I wouldn't be old enough to remember it anyway, and I'm glad that we don't have to deal with any of that right now. So, there you go.
There you go.
All right, then. Telstar, you got anything else for us, or what? What's going on?
No, I really don't. It's just raining down here in Arizona. You know how we are during the wet season.
I have no idea.
I didn't even know Arizona had a wet season.
I didn't know Arizona had a wet season either.
Oh, we do, yeah, the monsoon. We have an official monsoon season.
You had nothing but dust. I had no idea.
I didn't know.
I've only seen your state in westerns.
Oh my! All right.
I've never seen your state without Kevin Costner riding a horse across it.
Wait a minute. Really?
Yeah.
You've never seen the movie Grand Canyon?
I have. I wasn't a fan, but I've never been that far west.
All right. I myself have, though I've never actually made a stop in Arizona. Although I know that I'm going to have to at some point. I know that at some point I'm going to have to go to Arizona. I do have family in Arizona, and I do need to go and see them.
Yeah, July or August is always a good month to come.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm thinking like, February, March.
Oh, no, wait.
When it's not so hot, when it's only like 200 degrees,
See, it's too cold during February. We're down in like 60s, 50s. Ugh. You need Parker.
And that's not going to bother me. That's a whole. I would rather put more on. I'd rather have 50 or 60 degrees than 190. With blinding heat waves. But all right, we can't talk about the weather on a radio program. That is way.
Yeah. How's the weather, man?
We're switching out and giving Beans a little bit more water. He's running out of gas. And we've been avoiding the Doritos I brought in to eat on the program, too. Doritos in a can. Why? Well, they don't break that way. See? And you get whole Doritos instead of Dorito crumbs. I hate that, man. I hate that. When you get to the bottom of the bag of Doritos and there's all crumbs, that sucks.
It does.
It's terrible. And they turn your fingers all orange like you're eating Cheetos. Who needs that?
Stuff them out in the bag.
There goes our first shot at a sponsor.
Well, I don't think Doritos is going to want to sponsor. You know what?
Anymore.
I think I'm going to go back to, I think we've both pretty much killed any chance of sponsorship on this show, but that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. We'll find some sponsors that appreciate jokes like the Accused and
perhaps
the Horn
whichever studio is selling The Accused on DVD will want a promo.
There you go.
There you go.
So if you're the studio selling The Accused on DVD with Jodie Foster, hey, call us up. There's another What the Hell Ever Happened to Kelly McGillis. What the hell ever happened to Kelly McGillis?
I didn't know anyone was looking for her.
See? Maybe that's why she disappeared.
Could be.
I think that, I don't know. Maybe the band Fastball wrote that song about her. Maybe that's about Kelly McGillis and Steve Guttenberg together. Where were they going without ever knowing the way?
You hear about Fogarty?
What's that? Fogarty? Yeah, John Fogarty inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh,
For center field, yeah. And they in fact on permanent display now in Cooperstown have Slugger, the baseball guitar that he used to record the song.
I didn't know that, but that is about 17 different kinds of awesome. It's a great song.
And I don't think there's any other musician in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think that's pretty unique to him.
Well, it's one of the greatest baseball songs ever written.
I think it may be the greatest baseball song ever written.
Certainly the greatest ball guitar ever built.
Yes. And I think he made that guitar himself, actually.
I love that thing. That is awesome.
And that's why I'm kind of surprised that he would let that go to the Hall of Fame, man. That's a pretty damn cool guitar to let go. You know,
sure he still uses it in concert, so.
He used to. I don't think so. I think it's now on display at the Hall of Fame.
Because I saw him about 2 years ago and he used it when he played center field.
Well, but this was like a week ago.
True.
That he got inducted. So, you know. All right, we're gonna wrap it up with Telstar. Telstar, thank you for calling the show. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I wanted to hear you.
It's not quite the liberal crap you thought it would be, is it?
Yeah, well, there's always a tinge of it in your voice.
Yeah, it's always there because it's present. But I'll get into that in a future time. We're going to keep this one light.
I'll be retiring before that happens.
Yeah, we're not going to do the political thing. We're about having fun, not pissing people off. And frankly, the only thing you're going to do if you have a politically based show, whether it's one way or the other, is alienate half the people that would normally listen to you anyway, and then you're going to end up yelling at people. So I just don't think that's a good use of our time. It's not what I want to put out there, and it's not what I want to do. Look, we're all going to agree. We're going to agree. We're going to disagree. That's just the way it is. And you know what? We'll settle those agreements with our vote, which is the right way to do it. Not yelling at each other on a talk show or on a radio show. You know, I really want to avoid that. I don't think it adds anything to our national dialogue for people to just call it, you know, to frankly just call up and yell at each other. And that's really all that happens. You know, you got two sides of the same coin yelling about all the shit in the middle, and I just don't want to get into that.
Yep, don't blame me. All right, well, I'm going to be out of here, and I'm sure Dave will call again. Your weekly same time?
Yeah, for now it's Thursday at 8, although we may be moving the show possibly to Fridays. There's some discussion about that, but we'll see. We're definitely doing a podcast, though, so the podcast is always there as well.
Yeah. Well, I've got another friend that's got a show on Thursdays, too, so.
Oh, all right.
Oh, it's competition.
Competition already.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't listen to her, but I'll send you the link anyway.
Sounds
all
good. All right, Telstar. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, and you stay tuned. All right, bye.
Bye. All right, so we went a little bit long on a couple of segments, but that's all right. We got about an hour left. We're just finishing up our first hour of the Frank the Unicorn radio program, and there are a couple more things that I want to throw out there. Again, we're just to toss it out there. I have a friend. I'm not going to name any names, but, and this is a bit sad. It's very sad, actually. She lost her mom today, 11 years ago today. And I just want to take a moment, and I just want to let her know that she's in our hearts and we're thinking about her, and that she means a lot to us, and that she's definitely not alone, and that we absolutely love her, and we know that she's going to be all right, and we know that her mom's really, really proud of everything she's accomplished, because she's done some really amazing things. So just want to throw that out there. You know who you are. You know who you are. And we'll just say, headlock, we're thinking about you. How about that? All right. Hey, here's an interesting tidbit. You know, the Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston thing. Did you know that they met on a blind date?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they did. They met on a blind date. Now, here's my question. Why the beep does Brad Pitt or Jennifer Aniston need a blind date? What is that all about? Like, how does that even work? Oh, you know what? I'm going to set you up with this great guy that I know. His name's Brad. You got a picture of him? Sure. Pick up any magazine that's out on the newsstand, or just pull up any website online that has anything to do with celebrity gossip. You've seen the sexiest man in the world. Yeah, that's him. He needs a date. He can't get a date on his own. Dude, how bad is his breath if he has to get a blind date?
And even if you're blind to all that, there's no way she never saw Cutting Class. Or he never saw Leprechaun.
Two fine films. I personally really liked Cutting Class. I thought it was a great movie.
And I liked Leprechaun, if only for Jennifer Aniston's pre-surgery nose.
Yes, well, pre-surgery everything, because that's a whole different chick in that movie.
Very true.
She doesn't, I mean, let's put it this way, okay? If they were going to do a remake of the original Leprechaun movie and recast all the same actors, they would have to like intercut footage of her from the original Leprechaun just to make it work, because she just looks so different. Warwick Davis would not know that he's supposed to kill her. He'd be like, well, I don't know who that is. It kind of looks like the girl that stole my gold, but I don't know. Maybe it's like her hotter sister. I can't really tell.
I'd kill her anyway because, Warwick Davis.
Well, look, if you're taking a leprechaun's gold, you got problems. I mean, you got to know that's going to lead. Look, they made what, like 6 Leprechaun movies and like 3 Leprechaun in the Hood movies or something like that. Like there's like a ton of Leprechaun movies. Like that. You have to know by now, if you find a leprechaun, don't take his gold, man. He's going to kill you. You saw all the movies. It's like the same. Like if you see a guy coming out of the woods with a machete, wearing a hockey mask and a mechanic's uniform, don't hang around. Run! Get the hell out of there.
But he'll walk and get you. We've already been over that.
Yes, but you can do the one thing, which is you can get in a car and drive away, and that will be okay.
But to go back to the Leprechaun movies for a minute, here's the thing I find fascinating about them. The first 3 took place just in our world, regular places.
Right, of course.
4th one they send them off to space.
In space, yes.
5th one they need someplace stranger than space to send him.
The Hood.
So they bring him to the Hood.
Right.
Which I like that the Hood is more alien than space.
It is apparently it is to the producers of the film, which is really, really sad, because they could go to the Hood at any time, whereas going to space, not quite so easy.
And I might add that we're actually broadcasting from the Hood as we speak, and I'm a little nervous about leprechauns.
God. Well, you have nothing to be nervous about with leprechauns, although if one showed up, yes, I would push you in front of me.
That's what I'm worried about.
And I would say, he's got your gold, man. It's all him. Yeah, it's not me.
Do what you want to the girl, but leave me alone. I know how you are.
That's where I would hope to God that Steven Seagal were around. If I ever encountered the leprechaun, I would hope that Steven Seagal were there to protect me. Although I don't know, because, maybe the leprechaun is too small. Seagal can't intercept his blows because his fists are too tiny. Is that possible?
I think that is possible.
How come a leprechaun never carried around a weapon? Like, you never saw him, like, with a killer potato or anything. Like, he didn't have, like, a shillelagh that he killed people with. Why did the leprechaun ever have a weapon? Even, like, the pot of gold, like, the pot that the gold would have been in, like, that it's empty, that he kills him with that. Like, how come the leprechaun never had a weapon? How about that, Beans? Why didn't the leprechaun ever have a weapon? He just used whatever was available to him, right?
He's magically delicious. What does he need with a weapon?
Oh, my God. I was not aware that you had actually tasted leprechaun. That's a little frightening.
Well, I mean, I'm a man of all taste.
It's leprechaun meat. You're eating leprechaun right now. Hi, it's very good. I love the taste.
That was actually a worse accent than his.
Well, you know what?
That's hard to do.
I haven't made, 5, 6, 8 films, whatever, as a killer leprechaun. I never got to chase Jennifer Aniston around while I was dressed up in a little leprechaun outfit. Although,
not on camera.
Well, although if she's listening and she's into that, dude, 347-326-9700, give us a call. Hey, whatever, Yes, that number again, 347-326-9700.
Can you tell we have no training?
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean,
okay, can you tell I have no training?
We just don't have all right. One thing you shouldn't do, and maybe just a little on-air lesson, is don't put down the show while you're on it. Wait till we're off, and then make fun of me and make fun of us and make fun of Steve Gutenberg. Hey, why not, right?
But he might be one of our only listeners.
Steve Gutenberg probably is our only listener, but I don't think so, because you know what I think? I think Steve Gutenberg is having a nice, quiet, romantic evening alone with his pectoral muscles.
I have no response to that.
You haven't seen Gutenberg lately?
I have. There was a movie called Cornered, a horror flick that he was in very recently that I just watched, but was not paying attention to his pecs.
Huge.
Really?
And very impressive.
Go Steve Gutenberg.
Very impressive.
I had no idea.
Of course, he was on Dancing with the Stars. Actually, he was in a movie called The Big Green, the kids movie, soccer movie, with the kid that played Hamilton Porter in The Sandlot. Right? What's his name? Patrick something.
No.
Anyway, he was the son and son-in-law. He played the son and son-in-law. The goofy redheaded kid.
I know who you mean. I wouldn't know his name.
All the freckles.
Yeah.
The only reason we'd recognize him now if he walked in here is just because he'd be the only person that looks that way. I mean, he's got a very specific look, sort of an updated, sort of Donnie Most, Ralph Malph kind of vibe that he's got going on.
An Eldon Henson thing?
Yeah, exactly. So, But yeah, I mean, anyway, Big Green, it's a good kids movie if you're into kids movies and you want to see Gutenberg at least somewhat recently. I believe it was made in 95, 96. Had Miriam Diabo, actually. Yeah, she was
Bond girl.
That's right, Bond girl in one of the better Bond movies.
Which
actually
does not get enough respect.
No, it didn't, and that's because Timothy Dalton played Bond in it. And then I think really what hurt that movie, which, by the way, the movie we're talking about is Living Daylights. The thing that really killed that movie, it is Living Daylights, right? That is the other two. Okay, is License to Kill, the second Bond, Timothy Dalton Bond movie, which was amongst the worst Bond movies ever.
Truthfully, it wasn't really that bad, except for that it was a Miami Vice episode with James Bond in it.
That's one of the things that made it so bad. I mean, look.
But it's not an entertaining movie.
I just can't.
Robert Davi.
I really, I love Robert Davi. I really do, because for no other reason than he had my favorite line in all of Showgirls.
There were lines in Showgirls?
There were some lines, including, "You're not a dancer, you're a whore." I'm not a whore, I'm a dancer. Without him, Elizabeth Berkley can't whip her hair around and overact. So, he's important in that respect. But I love me some Robert Davi. I do. I love Robert Davi. I just didn't like him in that movie. And I thought, even the scene where he was feeding Felix Leitner to the shark, if you watch Robert Davi, you can see the shame on his face. You can see it. You're like, he's going, you can see in his face and his eyes. He's thinking to himself, I've been a great character actor and a bad guy for a long, long time, and this is finally my big break to be a Bond villain, and this is the crap that they had me do.
I heartily disagree.
Feed a fat, middle-aged, not even remotely intimidating Felix Leitner to some fake rubber-looking shark.
Leiter.
Felix Leiter. Whatever.
Whatever. You can't just whatever Felix Leiter.
I can.
The man is CIA. He will get you.
Yes, well. I have to say, I think my favorite actor to play him is Joe Don Baker. I think he's been the best. What do you think?
I'm actually a David Hedison guy, the guy who played him in License to Kill.
The guy fed to the shark.
I thought David Hedison was a damn fine Felix Leiter.
I never understood.
I stand behind him. Until Jeffrey Wright came along, I stand behind that.
Okay. They never did explain what happened to him after the whole shark thing. I guess it doesn't really matter. There's no continuity in any Bond series anyway, right? Yeah,
they never explained how he went from being, Timothy Dalton to being Pierce Brosnan. It just never...
Or how he went from being Sean Connery and being super awesome, kick-ass, and cool to being, Roger Moore.
I like Roger Moore.
We have this discussion a lot. I can knock Roger Moore, but I do like Roger Moore, and he did make some very good Bond movies. I had the one that stands out for me, the Roger Moore Bond that stands out for me. I don't know if it stands out as much for you, but it definitely stands out a lot for me. See how much it stands out? I can't even remember the name of it.
Go over The Spy Who Loved Me, the one that opens with the disco Bond theme?
It's not The Spy Who Loved Me. No, it's not that. No. It's the mountain climbing one. For Your Eyes Only.
Okay.
I don't know why. For Your Eyes Only, that particular Bond movie for Roger Moore really stands out for me.
Maybe
I really enjoyed it.
Easton super fan.
Maybe I am, but for some reason I really like that one. I thought that was a great one. Although the disco Bond opening is my favorite Bond opening ever. If nothing else than just watching that movie with Beans and him saying, he's just MST3K'ing it the whole time. Mr. Bond, stop this disco shit. Let me please, Mr. Bond. That was great. He dropped him in a smokestack. What a great way to die. I'm going to drop your ass in a smokestack. That's how bad I am. You know why? Because I'm James Bond. Sean Connery wouldn't have played that shit as Bond, man. Sean Connery would have landed the helicopter, walked up to Blofeld, backhanded him across the face, probably had sex with him, and then killed him.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Oh, right. You're right. I forgot.
It's still Connery we're talking
about. Yeah, it's true. Sean Connery, I mean...
Quick note about Sean Connery. I understand you're retired. I'm assuming you're listening. I understand you're retired. Why in the world would you let The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen be the movie you go out on? Really?
We're waiting for you to call us, Sean. 347-326-9700. You better call in and explain yourself. And while we're at it, I want to know what the hell's up with Zardoz. What was with that movie? Why the hell did you even make that movie?
Would you not take a part that allows you to run around in a diaper for 2 hours?
No, I wouldn't.
I mean, you're doing
that.
No, you're doing that now for free. Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you get paid for it?
Well, I'm not David Bitter, so let's just put it that way. But no, I would not run around in a diaper in a film. I would not. No, I wouldn't do that. Well, it would depend. Who's my co-star? Is Selma Blair in the movie?
Can't say that she is.
Okay, well then no, I'm not.
Can't say she was born yet.
No. I'm saying now, assuming it's going to be a remake now, you're not going to fly me back to like 1972 or whatever when that movie was made, right?
I'd try.
Well, I mean, look, there's only one of two ways that's going to happen. We're going to either have to catch a wormhole or find Doc Brown, and I don't see any of those things happening or occurring. So
what's Christopher Lloyd doing right now?
I don't know. I'd like to get
our show.
I would like to get Christopher Lloyd on the show as well. I would love to talk to Christopher Lloyd.
World's squeakiest Klingon. I enjoy him.
I would actually go really old school on Lloyd and ask him about being Reverend Jim. And I have a feeling if I said, "Can I ask you about being Reverend Jim Pignatowski?" he would probably say, "Okie doke." Come on, you guys knew that was coming. I telegraphed it. I wrote a memo. I sent it around. I blasted an email. I posted that joke on Facebook a week ago before I even told it. Not really, but that's the humor. Is that humor? No?
Not only have you lost your listeners, you've lost yourself.
Oh my God, it's happened. Well, then we're gonna have to go to Cosmo. All right, we're gonna go to our final segment before we wrap this up, and we are going to discuss what women are reading in Cosmo, because, all right, it's a mystery to me. It's a mystery to me about what a lot of women think. I mean, it's a mystery to any guy what women think, right? So one of the things we're going to have to do is slam a door, and at the same time, we're going to flip through a Cosmo, and this is my mission, is to flip through Cosmo and get some idea of what is going on or what's being put out there for women or what they're reading to relate to guys or to figure out to guys. And the first...
I couldn't tell you. I only read it for the article.
Well, the first thing... That's Penthouse, Josh. So the first thing we're going to...
No, that one I read for the pictures of naked people.
Okay, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. You have the one I was in, right?
Sure.
Okay. We're going to discuss it. Okay, this is Cosmo's What's In and Out This Summer, okay, because Cosmo says beach season is all about living in the present, which is why trends that were hot a year ago may be ice cold now. So they've ID'd stuff that is sizzling and fizzling, and we're going to go over that real quick. Okay, so now, to be honest and frank about it, I don't know what a lot of this stuff is. So I'm going to rely on you to help me out, and I may even bring a woman in if I need to, except that I can't because I don't have one here. I would have gotten a woman in here. Hopefully a woman will call in and give us their perspective. Okay.
Should we make more accused jokes?
Maybe we should, or we could talk about tits. Whatever. That works. We can make jokes about the tits in accused.
No, you can't make jokes about that.
No?
No.
Okay, those are off limits. We will not make fun of Jodie Foster's breasts. Okay, so I don't know if they're tuberous or not. There's a whole article in Cosmo about tuberous breasts, which is fascinating to me.
That was the name of my band in high school.
I'm aware. It was a great... I loved your single, Nipple Clamp. It was great.
We were bouncy.
You were. Yeah, you were. You guys were like you were there.
He's
all
doing
right.
some kind of motion that you can't see on the radio, but
yeah,
if you could,
it's fine.
I'll show
okay.
you.
So what's in and out this summer? So the guy we want to sign our yearbook. Now, the other part of this Cosmo, as I've been reading through this Cosmo, there's a lot of references to really young guys in here. My understanding of Cosmo is that this is more of a magazine for, like women who are more mature in their 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah, but they're also the same women who are reading Twilight.
True. Okay. It's funny because I would swear I would think most people that would be inclined to read Twilight would be illiterate. All right, anyway.
It can only help.
I guess it could possibly make it a better book if you can't understand it or read it. But, anyway. So what's in and out this summer? Okay, so the guy we want to sign our yearbook in McKinley High's Finn Hudson.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that's a reference to.
Okay, I know this one because I've had to watch the show. That's the show Glee, and that's the guy on Glee. That's the character. That's the character on Glee. That's played by an actor named Corey Monteith. And he plays Finn Hudson, who's the quarterback who then decided he wanted to go and join the Glee Club, because that's realistic. And what's out, and I don't know this one, is St. Jude's Dan Humphrey. Yes. Played by actor Penn Badgley. I don't know who the hell that is.
I don't know.
I don't know what that's a reference to. Shows how much I know.
The only thing I know about Glee is that Jane Lynch is in it, and I love her. But I've yet to see her show. I
love me some Jane Lynch as well, and that's another person I'd love to get on this show.
Absolutely.
I would love to have Jane Lynch call in.
She has a lifetime pass after Role Model.
Yes, for me, she's got a lifetime pass after Mighty Wind. Because that movie was fantastic. And if you haven't seen it, go rent Mighty Wind. And again, we're calling it back to Michael McKean, Christopher Guest, and Harry Shearer, who are just three of the funniest guys around, who we would love to have any or all of you guys on the show as well. You know, if you want to come on individually, the folksman, whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I love that movie, and it's so hard to steal a film with all that talent in it. But I think that she managed to do it with that film. I almost said Best in Show, but I meant Mighty Wind. I think she might have stolen Mighty Wind, although my favorite line from that movie is still Eugene Levy. Because you know what? We may see sailfish. I just think that's hilarious. Or swordfish. Was it swordfish or sailfish?
I think it was sailfish, but I do
Sailfish. All right, sailfish are in. I'm declaring that. It's not on the Cosmo list. It's on my list. Sailfish, in.
So when you take over Cosmo with the next issue, a lot of people don't know that. When you do that, sailfish are going to be in.
Yes. Okay. Older lady we love, in. Betty White. Well, duh. Betty White's never out. Betty White is America's grandmother. We love her. She's awesome. I love that Betty White on the show.
You know what? I love Betty White, but enough already.
Really?
Stop trying to sell me Betty White, America.
Well, no one's trying to sell. You know what it is? We're trying to get as much of Betty White as we can.
Which I understand, and I do.
While we can.
I do think she's great, but a pinup calendar?
Well, that I don't need. I
mean, there's a lot of Betty White out there.
That I don't need. I don't need a pinup calendar.
And as much as I enjoy her, I don't want her to be overexposed, which I think she's in danger of being. And I don't like to see Betty White in danger.
No one wants to see Betty White in danger.
Believe me, I could watch Lake Placid every day of the week just for Betty White.
There's a lot of good stuff going on in Lake Placid.
But the best stuff is Betty White.
I think the best stuff might be Oliver Platt.
As much as I love Oliver Platt and happen to resemble him,
yes, you do. You do look a lot like Oliver Platt.
I'm a big fan of Betty White in that movie.
Okay, all right. Well,
also Bridget Fonda. That movie made no wrong steps for me.
Okay, I agree. And
there's a direct-to-video sequel to avoid. Lake Placid 2, not one laugh.
Well, hey, I wouldn't think to. Anyway, all right. So
I would.
The woman who's out is Susan Boyle. Apparently, is out. Okay, we all know who Susan Boyle is, right?
Sure.
Okay. This one, I had to actually ask on this one. I asked on this one to know what this is. This is the hoo-ha treatment that's in is called vajazzling.
Oh, I know about vajazzling.
I just learned about vajazzling.
I'm actually vajazzled right now.
Oh my God. I think you're going to need to post. We're going to need to take a picture of that and post that on the site.
Well, I think that addresses my protected status. It's
just going to be if you're growing. If you want to see Beans vajazzing, 347-326-9700. Call it up. Let us know. All right. So
a little bell.
Vajazzling. That's where women glue. First of all, gluing anything near your private parts to me never seems like a good idea. But apparently, women glue rhinestones to their vaginal area in the area of their vaginal bits, if that makes sense. They're pink lady parts. They put rhinestones on them. What good is that going to do? What the hell? What the hell?
What good is that not going to do?
Why would you do? Why?
Why wouldn't you? We have vajazzling technology. We live in a world where it is possible to vajazzle.
You know what? I'm going to let that one just go where it is, man, because I don't even know how to respond to that. But vajazzling to me is not a good thing. It's like people throwing stuff around in the studio and making a bunch of noise. All right, housewife we love to hate. Let's move on to that one.
What's out?
Oh, Brazilian. Although doesn't it seem to make sense you would have to have a Brazilian to vajazzle yourself?
I think you'd have to go a little further than the Brazilian if you're going to vajazzle.
Well, no, there's no way to go further than the Brazilian. You can't remove skin.
I think you might have to, because maybe not skin, but
no, the Brazilian is
levels to the Brazilian.
But no, the Brazilian means there's nothing.
It means the Brazilian left a little.
No, that's called a landing strip. I can't believe I'm actually.
Why are we talking about this?
I'm giving a lesson on female pubic hair.
And I'm learning.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes. That's.
I always thought the strip was still there.
Brazilian is nothing. The strip is the landing strip, or the trail.
Is it technically still a Brazilian if you're vajazzled?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think you have to have a Brazilian to have to vajazzle yourself. And if that's the case, then how the hell could a Brazilian be out? Because it's a necessary component of vajazzling, right?
I guess that's true. I guess they mean the lonely, the poor lone Brazilian is no longer in You need to vajazzle if you're gonna.
You have to go the extra step.
You have to go the extra mile.
Okay. All right. So you have. Okay. That makes sense. That makes more sense to me than. You know what? No, it doesn't. None of this makes any damn sense to me at all. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense to me why anyone would want to put rhinestones on their crotch. I don't get it. But you know what? I'm not a woman and I don't read Cosmo. Although now I do sort of read Cosmo. But that's anyway. 347-326-9700 and the housewife.
How much more popular would the accused have been?
Oh, good God. How did you go there? How the hell did... All right, anyway, the housewife we love to hate, and I'm sure one of these two is either vajazzled or Brazilian or whatever.
Should we go back to Betty White with the vajazzle?
No. Moving on. Housewife we love to hate. I don't know either of these. Jill Zarin? I don't know who that is. Zareen? I don't know. I guess this is one of those Real Housewives shows. They're on one of these Real Housewives shows. I don't get that stuff. I don't watch that. And out is Kelly Killerin Ben Simon, I guess. Thanks. I'm sorry that you're out. You know, maybe if you vajazzle yourself and hang out with Finn Hudson, you'll be in. I don't know. Worst export, Icelandic volcanic ash, and the out export is Mexican swine flu. Now, how can the worst export? That's just stupid. How can you say we're going to take something that's bad or the worst possible thing and we're going to say that's the in thing now?
By saying that's just stupid, are you suggesting that some of this is smart?
No, none of this is smart. But that's particularly stupid. That's even stupider than vajazzling.
Okay, first of all, let me just disavow.
Just the idea that you name a worst export. You know, I mean, it's not like Iceland said, you know what? Let's export some volcanic ash and ruin a bunch of flights across Europe. I mean, it was you know what I mean?
I think we need to prepare for next week's show and watch the Vajazzler infomercial.
If there was a Vajazzler infomercial, I think that it would be the most popular program on television.
I think it would too.
Depending on who was in it. Because if it starred Betty White,
everyone loves Betty White.
Well, no. I don't think that would go over well. I don't think that would go over well. I got to tell you.
I think I would go out and buy 15 Vajazzlers.
I would probably vomit if I had to see Betty White vajazzling herself. No offense, Betty White, but
what if they had someone else vajazzling her?
No vajazzling on Betty White. How the hell are you?
You're a man who doesn't know how to live.
No, I know how to stay alive, and that is to not make myself sick or want to kill myself. If I saw Betty White vajazzling, I may want to commit suicide.
You do not know how to live. Good day to you, sir.
No, he said good day. Well, that's that then. Moving on, next on the list, booty shaking song. You got to forgive me because I only know one of these because of all the parodies. In is Usher's OMG. Never heard it. I listen to Steven Seagal play music, but I don't listen to Usher.
Didn't even know Usher was still a thing. I thought he went away in the 90s.
Well, he's apparently still very popular. He made that one film, The Faculty, which was quite good. I enjoyed it. You know, Jon Stewart getting stabbed in the eye. How can you not love that?
True.
And the out song is Beyonce's Single Ladies. It looks like we have another call. So should we take a break from our What's In and Out and pick up this call? Hopefully, and I'll get to say it, hopefully it's the ladies. Okay, caller, you're on with Frank the Unicorn. What's up?
Hi, Frank. It's Janine.
Hello, Janine. How are you?
I'm good. I just got home at work, so I was listening on the radio a little bit, seeing what you guys are talking about.
Well, you probably
picked the worst possible
time to tune in, I think. You missed the jokes. You missed the jokes about the accused, but you did. Unfortunately, you came right in when we were talking about vajazzling Betty White. And for that, I apologize.
I did, and yeah, I had never heard of vajazzling before, and so you brought that to my attention, and that's very interesting.
We are teaching the world. We're teaching the world about women's pubes.
That's starting a movement.
We are not starting a movement.
I'm starting a movement.
You are starting a movement.
I'm moving right now.
I am moving out of the way of the movement because I don't want anything to do with this movement, and the whole idea of Betty White vajazzling and movement really, really makes me sick. Not really.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
It's pretty nasty. It's pretty bad.
I don't think I'm alone there. Other listeners, you got to chime in here.
Well, I mean, so you've never heard of vajazzling? You're a woman. Let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this. Would you actually glue rhinestones to yourself in that way? Because I don't think most women would.
No, I would not.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
What if they were self-adhesive?
No. We're not going there. We're
a little back.
All right. I'm going to officially call an end to the entire vajazzling line of discussion.
Good luck with that.
We're going to move on. The must-have nerd toy.
A vajazzler.
No! Damn you.
What is wrong with you, Beans, man?
Yeah. The one that's in right now is the iPad, which to me just looks like a big iPhone that doesn't do as much. And what's out is the Wii Motion Plus. I love my Wii. I think the Wii's great. I think it's the best video game system ever invented. I think it's phenomenal.
What's the difference between a Wii and a Motion Plus?
The Wii Motion Plus makes the Wii more sensitive. It makes the Wiimote more sensitive to your movements. Because apparently the Wiimote wasn't sensitive enough, although it was pretty damn sensitive. Kind of like, I don't know if you were bejazzled or something.
So basically the Wiimote's been bejazzled is what you're saying.
Oh, God. Let's go back to the Wii games.
Yeah, we're gonna skip over the very next what's in and out this summer, which is the genital wardrobe malfunction. I'm not going near this one. I don't want to discuss trouser snout or camel toe. Hilarious memoir. How about that? The hilarious memoir now is Sarah Silverman's The Bedwetter,
which is incredibly funny. I've been reading it.
Okay, and I will say that Sarah Silverman's pretty cool. She's doing some pretty cool things, and good for her. I would have Sarah. That's another one. I would love to have Sarah Silverman on the program.
She's very, very.
But I didn't know she wetted the bed.
What's that?
I didn't know she wetted the bed.
Well, you can read all about it in her book.
I guess so.
Stories of courage, redemption, and peace.
I didn't know that she was a bedwetter either, but now that I do, that maybe makes her more attractive. I don't know. What? A woman with a flaw is good, right? One major weird flaw that because like she's really hot, right? So she's she's super hot, she's rich, she's sexy, she's funny, she's got all these things going on. It's nice to know that she's got a couple things that maybe are a little out of line, and she's, kind of maybe a little bit more real like us. It makes the sexual fantasies easier. Of course, I'm not a normal person at all. I've got a friggin' horn going out of my head. What are you talking about?
No, you're not, Frederick, but you're very entertaining, and when we're at work with you, everybody just has a great, fun day, and you make everybody laugh. So.
Well, thank you. I certainly appreciate that. I will pass that on to my producer and let him know that.
Okay.
He's running the board for us right now. But
all
right. Janine, we are going to thank you for calling the show. And
no problem.
All right, and we're going to go back to our what's in and out, and then I'm going to make Beans here take the quiz. You're going to take the quiz. So please stay with us. I'm going to say goodbye now.
I promise not every answer will have to do with the vajazzler.
Okay, well, let's hope it doesn't.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to hang up, and I'm going to listen on my computer to you guys.
All right.
Okay? So be good.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I'm looking down at this Cosmo here, and I'm seeing that the Sarah Silverman's Bedwetter is the in memoir.
Yes.
I'm a little bothered to see that Russell Brand's My Bookie Wook is the out memoir.
I find that really ridiculous. I don't understand how you could say Russell Brand is out.
And here's the thing. I was not a big fan of Russell Brand's. I just wasn't getting it. Then I read his book. Absolutely loved it. And I've been a fan since.
I think he's friggin' hilarious.
And it's a genuinely great book.
I'm going to have to steal it from you. I'll distract you with a vajazzler.
It was smarter and funnier than I was expecting, and just a really good read.
Well, I think the reality is Russell Brand is actually very smart and funny. And again, another celebrity we would love to have on the show. We'll throw him in with that segment too. We'd love to have Russell Brand on. Although I think I'd be afraid he would try to hump me. I'm afraid that he would actually try to molest me in some way. Although I guess if he wanted to, that would make for good radio.
I suppose it would.
It depends. I guess it depends on who you ask.
And also if he's vajazzled. I cannot get off that.
You can. You know what? Maybe we could get Russell Brand to come on and vajazzle Sarah Silverman and Betty White for us. How about that?
I'd pay good money.
I cannot believe that this is where this show has gone. I did not intend for that to happen at all. Okay, so the in-fame whoring celebrity is Heidi Montag 2.0, and the out celebrity is just Heidi Montag. So I guess all that plastic surgery is the new version of her. Who cares?
I pretty much can't stand anyone who's famous for being famous.
I agree.
I don't get that.
I agree. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And
I shouldn't know Heidi Montag's name.
Well, I think the problem with this category is they need to take out a few words, okay? Instead of fame, whoring, celebrity, let's just edit this down and get rid of fame, okay? And let's get rid of celebrity, because she's not really a celebrity. So let's just take whoring and just make it whore. Can we do that? Let's just make that whore.
I believe we can.
I think that's the best thing to do. The texting acronym, OMLG, is in.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. I have no idea. I'm so out of the loop. Somebody call in, please.
I know the O, the M, and the G. No idea what the L is for.
I don't either. The OMFG is out.
Okay, but at least I know what it means.
I know what that means too, and I don't feel comfortable texting an acronym that I don't know what it means. This could mean I want to lick your dirty shithole. I don't know what this means. Oh, I don't know how it's going to say that with OMLG, but
I don't think that works.
Okay, well, but you get my
you don't really get acronyms, do you?
No, I totally get acronyms, but still. What?
Oh My Lady Gaga.
Oh My Lady Gaga.
Is that what that means?
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard, and I will never text that.
Please, America, make that go away.
Yeah, just stop.
And by that, I actually mean Lady Gaga, not just that thing.
I don't have a problem with Lady Gaga because she wears thongs in public, which I think is really cool. And for now is good, although she should probably stop that, say, 5 years in the future or later down the line or whatever. But for now, it works. It's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And beyond that, I got to tell you, I think one of the funniest and best things I've ever seen is Cartman doing Poker Face on South Park. I think it's hilarious.
I have not seen that.
And I got to give it up to Lady Gaga, because without Lady Gaga, Weird Al would not have done Polka Face. And that was some kick-ass music.
That is true.
So I'll give it up to her for that. Okay, so wannabe self-help guru. The self-help guru, wannabe self-help guru, Terry Hatcher.
I had no idea she was helping people or selves.
I'm not even going to give out the website because I don't want to encourage anyone to have anything to do with Terry Hatcher. Sorry. She won't be appearing on the show.
But she was a Lois Lane and a Bond girl.
That's true.
I mean, that's the ultimate double bill.
Yes, but... All right, fine. GetHats.com.
And she was in Tango and Cash.
Okay.
Come on. Tango and Cash, Superman, and James Bond. How can you possibly be against this woman?
You know what? You're starting to convince me that maybe Terry Hatcher's pretty cool.
Also, damn fine episode of Tales from the Crypt with Kyle Secor and Miguel Ferrer.
You see why we have
their own.
Do you see why he's the encyclopedia of pop culture and all things film and television?
Well, just about anything with Kyle Secor anyway.
There you go.
Dig that dude.
But okay, so all right, the out one, which I definitely
give that man a show.
I definitely will not give out the website, is Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm not giving out her website. She's out. Forget it. No way.
But I actually have nowhere to go from there.
Yeah, there's no. She named her kid after a fruit, man. She named him Apple. She named her daughter Apple. That's just terrible. And frankly, I would just wish, and can I just take a moment and say, Coldplay, please, please, please. We already have U2. We don't need you.
But Coldplay is just like U2 without all that pesky talent and stage presence.
Right, exactly. So please, just stop. Just do some other kind of music. I'm not saying don't make music. I will never tell anyone not to make music. I think everyone should try. But just, maybe you could try to do something original.
I didn't mind.
Instead of just listening to the last U2 album and then just, rewriting all those songs and doing all those songs with some different lyrics and a little more British than Irish, just without, without all the talent. You're right, U2 without the talent. So just please do something else.
I didn't have a big problem with Coldplay when they first came along, but then every song sounded exactly like every other song. It's all just one song.
Well, Chris Martin is that important.
I guess that's true.
I guess, yeah. Well, when you're married to Gwyneth Paltrow, what are you gonna do? Post beach accessory. Peekaboo tops. That's in. I don't even know. Again, I guess that's some kind of top that shows the midriff area, the stomach area, the belly button area, right? Is that? I sound like a dress code, like a manual dress. The midriff area, in the midriff.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to show the midriff.
Yes, and the peekaboo shoes are out. And this last one...
What does a peekaboo shoe show?
Well, this particular shoe just looks like something a hooker would wear. It's really huge, like 9-inch heel with a big open toe. I don't know.
Like what I'm wearing.
Yeah, in fact, exactly what you have on.
And,
well, you know what? You're sort of half in and out because you've got the peekaboo shoes on, which are out, but you're wearing the peekaboo top, which is in. But then again... That's in, but you had to get the Brazilian to do it, so that's out. So you're kind of right on the precipice. You're balancing, and the most modern show.
Good thing of a Terry Hatcher.
It is. You're like Beans 2.0, the bejazzled version of. Anyway, doesn't matter. I can't even believe I tried to call back to Heidi Monta. What the hell was that? That was bad.
Oh, was that a callback to Heidi Monta?
Yeah.
I've already forgotten about her.
You know what?
I'm actually
surprised Spencer Pratt hasn't called the show and threatened us. God, I wish he would. Spencer, call the show so you can threaten me and I can actually take you up on it. 347-326-9700. All right. Most mourned show in, lost, out, ER. First of all, when was ER ever mourned? ER should have been off the air like 10 years ago.
ER was mourned about 5 years in when Clooney left.
Right. Like, the show ended with Clooney, right? Clooney left, the show stopped being relevant immediately when he left. That was it. And it didn't make matters. It didn't help when they decided to take the one good character that they actually had left after everybody else had left, which was Mark Green, played by
Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Revenge of the Nerds, Anthony Edwards.
Top Gun's Anthony Edwards, who I've been told I do resemble somewhat in certain instances.
In certain light, like dark.
Trust me.
Okay.
It's not necessarily. I have a lot more hair than Anthony Edwards, but that's, you know.
Another one who has a lifetime pass for me because of the movie Gotcha.
And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of the finest films of 1985, a great movie, 85, 86. Linda Fiorentino, one of her first movies as well. Great movie. Love that movie. If you have not seen Gotcha, go out and rent it.
And Jesus Garcia, another guy who needs more work.
He played the roommate.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, Lost. I can't mourn Lost. I thought the end was so horrible that I just can't even care that it's not on anymore. I'm just angry about how it ended.
I'm a little behind. I'm still watching season 2.
Well, I'm not gonna. This is all I'm saying. I won't reveal anything beyond that because I don't want to ruin it for you.
It's been spoiled for me. World's over.
So you know that basically how it ends is that Hurley and Ben end up bejazzling each other on the island while everyone else. Anyway, never mind. Okay, let's move on.
That one I saw.
Okay. So the next thing we're gonna, I think the next thing we need to do here is we need to get a little bit more into Cosmo. There's an article in here, real quick. We're just gonna run through it. How to tell if he'll cheat, and this is actually a quiz. And the picture of the guy they have in the magazine. Now you've got to understand, he's actually got they show him with a tattoo of a woman's name across his arm in giant black ink, literally with a line crossing the name out. And they have a piece here that says, take note of behavior that hints he could be emotionally unstable, like a history of messy breakups. You know who's got a history of messy breakups? Any dude who's ever dated more than like 1 or 2 girls. You know why? Because they read Cosmo. If his wardrobe is constantly changing, watch out. Why? Oh my God, he's stylish. He doesn't wear the same shitty clothes all the time. There must be something wrong with him. That doesn't seem like a problem. Not eco-friendly. It could be a sign that he'll trash your relationship too. You know what?
Eco-friendly.
Not
eco. Sign that he'll trash your relationship.
According to Cosmo. So if you're a guy,
hang on right there. Is not the most eco-friendly man on earth next to Ed Begley Jr. Al Gore?
Yes.
Did he not very recently?
He's been accused of a lot of naughty things.
Footprint?
Yes, he did in fact reduce it. And yes, and I think that there are some other folks who are pretty eco-friendly who are not necessarily on that stable, emotional, mature relationship track. But not eco-friendly could be a sign of a trash relationship too. How ridiculous! I mean, come on. He could just be lazy. He could just be an asshole about the environment, but he could be pretty good about other stuff. Just because a guy isn't necessarily as eco-friendly as you want doesn't mean he's going to cheat on you. He may be a jerk, but he could still be loyal, right?
Spoken like a true litterer.
Jeez. Keep your eye on a guy who loves the social network. He may need constant attention. Okay. If you're dating a guy who constantly social networks, you probably met him on a social network, which means you probably constantly social network too.
But you can't even really pick that out anymore because pretty much everybody is constantly socially networking.
You kind of have to.
I'm the only person I know who doesn't have a Facebook.
You're the only person. Well, you do now because you're on. Well, you don't officially, but you do sort of officially because you have the Frank the Unicorn page. But yeah, I mean, these are just.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
These are just. I mean, here are your 5 questions that you need to ask your guy or ask about the guy you're dating to see if he'll cheat on you.
Before you do this, does this make me your guy? Because that.
No. You're going to take a different quiz.
Oh, good.
We're just highlighting the ridiculousness of this. Whenever the guy you're dating has a few seconds to kill, what does he usually do? Reads or plays games on his phone, people watches, texts friends, or updates his Facebook status. How the hell is any of these things an indication that some guy's going to cheat on you?
Depends who he's texting.
I mean,
look at Tiger Woods.
How about? Well, okay, but that's a little bit okay. If you're married, I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even going to get into that because that's the whole professional athlete, wealthy, whatever.
But still, I mean, there's a difference between texting and sexting.
True, But
I just wanted to say that because I love to say the word sexting.
But wouldn't something, come on. What are you going to do if you're with your, come on. You've got a few seconds to kill. You got your phone with you. Yeah, you may play a game. You may people watch, right? By people watch, do they mean stare at girls? That's the thing. If it's stare at other women, then okay, maybe. That's not necessarily a good sign. If nothing else, it's disrespectful to the person you're with or the girl you're with. Text his friends or update his Facebook status. What if he's texting about how loyal he is to you and how much he loves you and how great you are? Is that an indication that he'll cheat on you? Just a ridiculous premise.
Now what if he stops to vajazzle somebody?
Well, that would be bad. His idea of going green is switching from plastic bottles to a reusable one. Using energy-saving light bulbs, turning off the water while he's brushing, and saving for a hybrid car. Or green, he's not really into the whole eco thing. Gee, I wonder which of those they would pick to be the one that would indicate the guy would be cheating on you, since they, gave that away in the promo on the other side of the page.
Indeed, they did.
These are just, how would you describe his fashion style? He will try any and every trend and toss it the second it goes out of style. He's not super stylish, but can pick out jeans and tees that fit him well. He wears whatever his mom or sister buys him for his birthday. So according to Cosmo, there's no in-between. Either you're Mr. Fashion, you're on the cutting edge, you only do fashionable things, or you're a jeans and t-shirts guy, or your mom picks your clothes. That's a little, there's not really.
What if your mom is fashionable?
What if your mom is fashionable and she picks out great clothing for you to wear? Because you know what? I've got sisters. My sisters are so fashionable that I wish they lived closer to me because I would like for them to pick my outfits. I probably would dress a lot better.
We would all like for them to pick your outfits.
Because I'd stop wearing peekaboo tops and showing off how I'm bejazzled?
Yes.
Haha. Sorry, I had to throw it back at you. You've been hitting me with it for so long, I had to get you back with it. All right, you're dying to go to see. This one, I think every guy should have the same reaction to this question, okay? And I'm going to just tell you, ladies, this is important. Listen to this question, and I'm going to tell you the right reaction that any man should have to it, which is, here's the question. You're dying to go see Eclipse this weekend. All of your friends have seen it already, so you beg him to go. He, A, agrees and orders tickets for you, both of you online. B, grumbles a bit, but says he'll go as long as he gets to choose the flick next time. C, rolls his eyes and tells you there's no way he's seeing that crap. The answer better be C. If you're dating a guy, you ask him to go see the movie Eclipse, and he doesn't answer, I'm not going to see that crap, you're not dating a man. And you need to report that guy. Call into our show, report him, we'll take away his man card immediately. And he will no longer be considered a guy. Come on, you cannot, there's no real man out there that could, I'm just so dying to go see Eclipse. No.
Would this be a bad time to mention I saw Eclipse?
Were you dying to go see it?
I can't say that I was.
Were you dragged by your hair screaming to go see the movie?
Not particularly.
Oh, come on. Okay, did you get something out of it? Did she offer to vajazzle you if you went to see the movie?
No, but, I did go.
I'm ashamed of you.
Just
a little bit for seeing that movie. Let me ask you this, though. What did you do when you got home? When you got home, what was the next film or television program you watched?
I couldn't even tell you. No idea.
Okay, because here's the thing. If it was like a Steven Seagal movie, I think you're in the clear. If it was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, maybe not as good as Seagal, but you're still on the cusp. If it was a Kurt Russell movie, you're gold. Did it have Kurt Russell? Did you watch something with Kurt Russell, Charles Bronson, Jason Statham?
I've been dragged to all 3 Twilight movies so far. I'm yet to enjoy any of them. But as a guy who, grew up on vampire, werewolf movies, that kind of stuff, still waiting for an actual vampire werewolf to show up in those movies. But
look at me, I'm a vampire and I'm the roast. Fuck you. Give me a break. All right, anyway, I'm sorry. I had to drop an F-bomb in here somewhere.
One other thing about the Twilight
Now
movies,
we're 43 minutes into the show.
Since they sparkle in sunlight, it actually looks like they've been entirely vajazzled.
That's amazing.
Isn't it?
It is.
That'll get you to go see those.
Oh, we got another call coming in. I can't wait to hear this one. Hello, caller. You're on with Frank and Beans. What's up?
Not Stephanie Holmes.
I hope
Hi,
not.
is this Frank the Unicorn?
Yeah, it is.
Hi, this is Frank Garvin in D.C.
Hey, what's up, Frank Garvin? How you doing, buddy?
Good, how's it going, man?
Kicking some ass. How you doing?
I'm sitting here with Mrs. Fred Garvin, listening to her radio show. Want to congratulate you on it.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. How are things in your area?
Things are just fine.
Good. And let me just say this. I know that Fred Garvin obviously is a man, real man.
Yeah.
Your response to the question of being asked to go see the movie Twilight Eclipse would be what?
I'd say have fun, and I'll go watch something else.
Something with either explosions, right?
Explosions,
fighting.
yeah, maybe something funny, fighting, boobs, all that good stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we have it, okay? That's a real man. Am I going to see Twilight? Hell no. Now, I do want to point something out, though. You did say, Beans, when you said, you said this. You said exactly this. I got dragged to go see all 3 movies, meaning that you were taken against your will to see these films. Which means you can keep your man card. It's okay.
How big are these girls that are dragging them there? That's what I want to know. I mean, to physically drag a man, they'd have to be pretty beefy women.
True.
Yeah.
True. Although.
You there?
Oh, and he has to go. Yeah. All right. So now, I mean, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make you take the quiz. And hey, Fred, you want to take the quiz with us or what?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
I have no other life.
I want you guys. You gotta answer honestly, and I'm going to keep score, and I'm gonna reveal your scores on the Cosmo quiz. We're gonna do a Cosmo quiz live, okay, from the hot issue. This quiz is entitled "Do You Give Off a Good in-Bed Vibe?" Question 1. Your dance style can best be described as A, kind of stiff, like the drink you need to hit the dance floor in the first place. B, no holds barred. Lady Gaga has nothing on you. Oh my LG. C, sexually suggestive. The cast of Step Up 3D would give you props.
I would have to say probably D, the cast of Hell Comes to Frogtown would give me props.
So we're gonna assume that you're here to chew gum and kick ass. You're fresh out of gum, and so we're gonna go with A. We're gonna give you answer A.
Yes.
Fred, how about you?
Yeah, I'd have to go with A. I really don't participate in the dancing much.
All right.
I just don't do it.
Okay.
So
now question 2. Settling into your airplane seat, you notice the Taylor Lautner. God damn it! Why is there anything in this magazine that's not related to this shitty movie? Okay, settling into your airplane seat, you notice the Taylor Lautner double next to you glancing your way. You, A, squeeze in front of him to grab something from the overhead bin, giving him a prime view of your backside. B, rummage around in your bag to look for gum, then ask if he has a piece that you can't find any. C, keep your eyes on your iPad so he doesn't think you're checking him out. Or my personal answer, D, ask him what the hell is up with his nose. What's it going to be?
I think I want to stick with D, actually.
You're going to go with D, okay.
I've got to go with A. But I need to add that I'm going to slip an FPD by him while I'm standing there. So you can get a good whiff of that.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, Shark Boy has really, really fallen off. Taylor Lautner played Shark Boy in The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
See, that one I wasn't dragged.
See, I actually watched that. I watched that on cable. I did not see that in the theater. Although Robert Rodriguez, so how could you really go wrong with it? It was pretty good. All right. Number 3, your BFF puts together a video montage to show at your 30th birthday party. Which theme song does she play it to? A, The Best Day by Taylor Swift. B, Rock That Body by the Black Eyed Peas. C, TikTok by Keisha. Or D, Love Doctor by Steven Seagal.
Except for Love Doctor, I've actually never heard of any of those songs.
Okay.
Completely out of the musical loop.
Right, because you're listening to decent music. That's the thing. This is not...
I don't know what any of those are. I don't even recognize...
Yeah, I don't know any of those songs.
I don't either, so we're going to go with D, Love Doctor by Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
Steven, you're going to have... Steven, you're out there listening. I know you are. You're going to have to call us. I'll buy you dinner. That's a dangerous thing to say to Steven Seagal.
You're going to have to take out a second mortgage.
That's almost like That's almost as dangerous as challenging him to a fight. All right. Number 4. On a first date, you and your new dude have hot sparks. At the end of the night, you part ways with A, some steamy making out, B, half-dressed groping on your couch, C, a quick kiss and a promise to text him about Thursday night, D, a full-on vajazzle.
I'm sorry, I missed all those. I was scratching myself. Can you repeat that?
Is hot sparks code for something?
I don't know what hot sparks is code for. I don't know. Let's repeat it, though, so Fred can hear it. On a first date, you and a new dude have hot sparks. At the end of the night, you part...
Does that mean hell sparks?
No. Hot sparks. You've got passion. You've got something. Anyway, you've got a steamy, you got a steamy connection. How about that?
A steamy connection?
Whatever. I don't know. I'm reading friggin' comments.
I got a steamy connection for you right here.
Oh, my God. No, come on, dude. I'm reading Cosmo. You see how it affects you? You see how it affects your brain? It makes you say weird things. I'm telling you. I am not going to take the lady to see Twilight because thankfully she's not into that. But your lady, oh yeah, no, definitely not going to. I'm not going to go see Twilight, and certainly not with someone that I can't have sex with afterwards. Because I would expect if I went to see Twilight with someone, even if it were you, there'd be some sex. Okay, so at the
pinball machine.
Okay, maybe there'll be some hot sparks. On a first date, you and a new dude have hot sparks. At the end of the night, you part ways with A, some steamy making out, B, half-dressed groping on your couch, C, a quick kiss and a promise to text him about Thursday night, or D, a full-on vajazzle session.
Pretty sure the answer is always going to be D.
D, okay.
Yeah,
Fred,
D.
how about you? D?
Yeah, D.
Yeah, all right. 5, your cousin's wedding is coming up, and lots of single guys have RSVP'd. You plan to wear A, a daring cutout dress, B, a flowy blouse and a sleek pair of black pants, C, a body-hugging floral print number with bright red pumps, D, your Twilight t-shirt.
E, a full Jason Voorhees costume.
Nice.
I'm going to go with the flower dress and the pumps.
You're going to dress in the pumps?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've tallied the scores, and I'm glad to say that you are both a bed devil on the DL. Neither of you are sexy women, which is good. Because if you were sexy women, you couldn't be sexy men, and that would be bad. I thought I'd be
Just out of curiosity, Frank, what was your score on that test?
No, as the host of the show, I was thankful enough not to have to take this, but I would have also been a bed devil on the DL. I would not have scored any points on that one because there's no way that I could go with any of those answers that were in there. Same as you guys. I just have to make up my own.
I don't know. I've seen you in pumps, and I don't think it's that bad.
Well, that was private, and that was only between us, and you said there was no film in that camera. I'm sure those photos will end up on Facebook, too.
Yeah, it'll end up there sooner or later.
I'm a horny guy. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
All right, I know. I got to stop making horn drums.
Kit in here.
I have a drum kit. It's just not hooked up. I really do. I have an electric drum set right behind you there.
Electric drums don't count for anything.
Electric drums don't count for anything.
If you're not in Talking Heads, no.
Okay. I mean, I just thought it was
I don't think they had a real drummer, so.
I don't have room for a full drum kit. Never mind the fact I can't play the drums anyway. But I don't have room for a full drum kit, so the drum pad or pads, the electric drum pads, that works fine for me. I can loop a couple things together and then just jam along with it. That's all I need to do.
A worthless piece of technology.
According to you. And yet, the greatest invention of the last 100 years is the vajazzler?
No, the keytar.
The keytar. The keytar. Okay. Are we talking music technology or just technology in general?
Technology in general.
Just technology in general. You think that the keytar is the height of
better than Liquid Pro?
Better than Liquid Pro.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know, man. I think I might have to disagree.
I gotta disagree there. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the keytar.
I don't think it's a matter of opinion. How cool?
Although,
do you look with a keytar?
Weird Al looked especially cool with a keytar.
See?
He really did. He did look pretty cool.
And that would be.
But he's the only one that can pull that off.
That would be what we in the field call empirical evidence.
Oh, I didn't know we were in the field. I thought we were on the radio.
Oh, we're totally in the field.
Oh, okay. Well, then we better make sure that we're vajazzled because God knows anything could happen.
Way ahead of you there.
All right, then. All right, well, we are nearing the end of our program. Fred, you got anything you want to add real quick?
No.
No?
No, I guess I'm done. Let me put Mrs. Frank on real quick for it. No? Okay. No, she's being shy, so no Mrs. Frank. Or Fred. So.
Didn't really catch any of that. I heard.
I was going to throw Mrs. Fred Garvin on there, but she's being shy, so.
All right. Well, tell Mrs. Fred Garvin we said hello, and we thank you both for calling, and we hope to see you guys real soon.
Talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Power Fred compels you.
Oh, God. Come on.
You sound like Linda Blair.
Oh, just for a second there. Still. But it's great to have, you know what? I love having Fred Garvin calling in.
Male prostitute.
That's right. You better face it. You're spending the night with Fred Garvin, male prostitute.
He has an elaborate series of trusses.
And he does, and it's especially hilarious because your dad looks so much like Dan Aykroyd that it's a little bit frightening.
It is.
Aside from the...
Also, he put himself through college as a male prostitute. A lot of people don't know that.
Wow, that's amazing.
A lot of people don't know that.
I actually did know that. That's how he got the name The Pick. Originally. So, I don't know. I think we can pretty much agree that Cosmo, as we've seen just from even some of the things that I was saying, will definitely affect your head in a very bad way. And it just doesn't... I can't relate to Cosmo very well. I'm going to try, though. And once a month, we're going to bring on the new Cosmo every month, and we're going to take the quiz, and we're going to try to figure out exactly why what's going on in here is going on in here. I don't get it. This whole thing is basically like an ad for Eclipse. It's a Twilight series ad. This entire magazine.
Does that mean that one of us has to get a subscription to Cosmo? That's going to be you. That's your department.
No, but I tell you what. When I bought it at CVS, and I was actually a little annoyed. I was hoping there was a Hustler or something I could buy to put on top of it, so people wouldn't see me buying this. I was looking around to see. I wanted to hide this between a couple of real magazines. But, yeah.
Hustler and Pinball Enthusiast.
Right.
Yeah.
My God. Oh. Well, it was great doing one show. I don't know if we'll ever do another one after all the accused jokes that we've been throwing out there. We certainly a fine film. Jodie Foster won an Academy Award for that movie.
She sure did.
Real quick, I do want to mention one more person I want to have on the show.
She also got the high score on that pinball machine.
Oh, my God. Okay, so one more person I want to mention about having on the show. Just because we've only got about 3 minutes left, and we'll get into this a little bit next week, and that's Jason Segel from Forgetting Sarah Marshall and of course, How I Met Your Mother, and of course, the most important and best thing he's ever done, which is Dead Man on Campus, which we'll have a whole discussion about next week, so I want to get Buckley Schrank on here, and we may even do a live, I might even decide to do a live in-studio performance of the song that the roommate Matt performed.
I don't know if we've got the equipment to handle that.
I think we do. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only...
I'm not talking about the guitars. I'm talking about the computer.
Right. There's 5 guitars in the room. It'll work. It'll work. But all right, so I want to take a moment real quick. We're going to wrap it up here. We've only got about 3 minutes left on the show, so I just want to take a moment. I want to thank everyone that is listening and that has listened. I want to thank all of our callers. I want to thank my dad for calling in. I want to thank Crazy Dave. I want to thank Telstar. And I want to thank Fred Garvin as well. And I also want to give a shout-out to Janine and thank her for calling in as well. Do appreciate you guys tuning in. We look forward to hopefully getting more listeners next week, or having you guys come back at least and listen next week. If we haven't turned you off with all of the things, horrible, terrible things we've been saying and discussing, hopefully you found it entertaining. Hopefully you had a good time and enjoyed it, because I know I certainly did. And Beans, I hope you certainly did too.
I did, and I want to give a shout-out and a thank you to whoever invented the Vajazzler, because you're now my own personal Lord and Savior.
And we knew it was going to come up again.
And I'll be praying to you daily.
You know what? We're going to get so many angry emails from people, only because I think we
need sponsors. Why can't the Vajazzler?
I think the Vajazzler should sponsor our show. Is there a Vajazzler?
There better be.
Is there? There is one? We're going to have to find out about that. You know what? I think we're going to do?
Call the Ronco Corporation and find out.
I think is it way out of line for us to Vajazzle ourselves and then talk about it?
I don't know that it is.
I don't know either. All right, listen. I just want to thank everybody for calling the show. Headlock, we're thinking about you. I haven't forgot about you. Just want to mention that again. I do, again, thank everybody. Thank you, Beans, for being here. Thank you to Blog Talk Radio for allowing us to put the show on. And We will see you next week, hopefully Thursday night, 8 o'clock. We're going to post the schedule on Facebook. You guys have a great night. That is going to be it for the Frank the Unicorn program.
Insert clever sign-off here.
Well, there really is no clever sign-off. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to let you guys, we're going to let Mr. Seagal take us out. Give it a minute. The Love Doctor's coming.
There he is.
Yeah.
Don't hurt us. I think it's not hurt him.
Don't hurt anyone.